Okie dokie now. Today I'm going to show you guys what to do if your toilet's falling out. Let's go into the bathroom and let's take a gander. Now you can see already that toilet is falling through the floor. It's falling out, okay? And when you're falling out, when you're balling out, there's a problem or two. One, when you're taking a one and there's a two, a number two, there's a problem. And down there, this seems to be sort of an issue. As you can see, right there, the floor has rotted away. Now, there's a few things we can do about this. If your floor is completely rotted out and you've spray foamed it as it's rotted out over the years, but that last person, by golly, the only reason the toilet's here probably is because of a cast iron drain holding it from falling through the floor. It's a tragic event. Few casualties here and there. So what are we gonna do? It's not so easy, is it? Probably would have been done already.
It's cause I didn't done torn it out yet.
But we're gonna straighten that up right now, ain't we, Bob? We're gonna straighten him up. Now the math is simple, Rick. There's a pound of calabulant in the back of the car. If you're not first, you're last. What's it gonna be, Rick? What's it gonna be, Rick? What's it gonna be, Rick? You're not first, you're last. Bag that toilet up. You didn't think you were gonna get away that easy, did you? No. No. This isn't the Holiday Inn. No, it's surely not the Holiday Inn. Ah! Not the Holiday Inn. If you wanted the Holiday Inn, you pay the Holiday Inn price. You think I'm kidding, Rick? Ah. This ain't the Holiday Inn. I think it's good enough. Yeah. You'll learn. You'll learn. Rick, I'll be back. Yeah, you just thought I was gonna be all day, didn't you, Rick? I'm back. I said I'm back, Rick. I'm back. Bag that toilet up and pay me the real deal. Show me the quan. Okay? Jerry, show me the quan.
I have gathered the big pieces of the porcelain, but this little portion right here is not fit for a king. It must be removed. It's not fit for a king! one.
Hello. So I'm gonna spare you guys about 50 minutes of talking. Here is the bathroom now, and here is the demolition that I have done. Okay, so let me walk you guys through it. You seen last I was busting a hole through the floor. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, there was a thin layer of plywood over this, and over that thin layer of plywood there was asbestos siding. If you guys have never seen asbestos before, this is asbestos. Okay, this right here, this is all asbestos. So I had to get rid of it. It was beyond repair. So we've got asbestos glue, we have asbestos, it cracks and it crinkles. It looks like that linoleum stuff that they roll out on floors, but it cracks a little bit easier and it's a little bit older. See, it has, I don't know if you guys can see that texture there. Here it is right here, okay? This stuff, it flakes, okay? This is asbestos flakes. Okay, that right there, I'm scratching, that dust right there, you see that dust? That's asbestos. Okay, that's asbestos. And all of this is asbestos. So I'm trying to video it so you guys can see what it looks like. That's asbestos. Okay? And they glue asbestos with asbestos onto this thin plywood, okay? So here's some thin plywood right here. And that thin plywood had asbestos glue and asbestos flooring on it, and they often put this stuff most all the time in bathrooms and in kitchens, just like I have here in this home renovation. Okay, but I tore up the thin plywood, I tore up the asbestos, I did it all unmasked, kind of just on a time crunch. I didn't video it, telling you guys and just warning you guys, we got asbestos everywhere, okay? But it's all gone now. I worked in here late into the night until 3 in the morning with the door closed. The rest of the property is completely finished, okay? So I worked in here, sealed this room off, and just as I am here working, I just ripped it up, put it in there, and I got rid of everything, okay? Everything that was rotten, everything that was, there was water sitting right here at one point from a roof leak that got underneath that thin asbestos and that siding, that flooring. It got under right here, which you can see some stuff right here, okay? That was from an old leak. So I tore that up, so it's been breathing. So now it can breathe and it can get air. Okay, so we're preserving this wood. I had to nail in all the nails, so every time I hit this, the asbestos dust went up in the air, okay? Well, whatever. Nailed in all these nails to get it all flat, and then you're gonna hand feel everything to make sure it's all flat, it's all smooth, it all feels nice, it all feels good, okay? This stuff wouldn't come up. I scraped and scraped everything that would come up, okay? Everything here is solid, everything here is smooth, everything here would not come up. This stuff did come up, I'm leaving that, okay? All the way around, and this is everything. This trim boards are good, okay? And there was no trim board that was good in the back. It's that rubber piece, which I'm gonna peel off. Okay, so there's that. And this vanity, I'm gonna preserve the vanity and do some skim coating tactics like we do on the rest of the house to get this vanity looking in ship shape and put some new knobs on it, okay? But here is the floor. All of this portion was completely rotted out over to right here, so I cut all that out, okay? And then I put a spacer board underneath. Okay, you can see, so I'm gonna show you. There's the concrete block, that's the stem wall of the house. So this is the exterior, okay, the exterior wall, and that's a concrete block. There's a crawl space entry right here. So the crawl space from outside to right here is just right there. Okay, I have it opened up and I've been scooping and shoveling debris out from outside, shoveling out into the trash can, okay? All this stuff is getting shoveled out from here into the trash. Okay, and then I have cleared out and cut everything that was back underneath there, and I found you're gonna wanna find the wood that fits that gap. For me, a 2x4 is the exact fit, and all I'm doing is putting that 2x4 in place, okay? Once I'm putting it in place, I'm hammering it in like this, and now that's in place. Now I'm gonna go over the rest of this. So this is the stem wall. There's a 2x4 running from the stem wall across onto a block that's right over here. We have this board that I've ran across right here, okay? It goes from the stem wall, from the fascia board here, over. So this is the exterior, the fascia board of the floor here, and I've screwed this board into that fascia there, and into this floor joist right over here, okay? And I could not get that screw in, but I have a screw here, and I have 2 over there, and then I have that 3rd one going into this support that's going across onto the floor support that's over here. We have this board going over into that fascia thing, also over there, and a screw over here, and then I've screwed this board in going across right here. You see the support that I have one here and one here. That's to support the toilet. The toilet's gonna be right here, and that ring will sit around like this, and that ring will screw in here, will screw in here, will screw in here. So, and then the toilet will rest right over that, just like this, and we'll have our floor, of course. So very strong, very solid. And these boards are right around that toilet, so I'll have something to screw into, okay? I'll remove all of this and put a new wax ring, a new piece here. I have videos on how I did all this already in my toilet series playlist, which I'll be putting this video in there as well. But anyway, so we have supported underneath the toilet where the floor was falling through. We have matched the drain height of the floor and got everything jacked up to the right height, so we're level. I had to cut out this portion right here, which the floor joist is right here. So there's the fascia, then there's the floor joist, and then there's another floor joist over here. Because this was right out, I had to cut that out, and then I had to add a couple of braces in right here, okay? And one right there. That's to screw in all the boards, because you have to have wood all the way around the edge. See how I have wood all the way around the edge? So you can put screws in all the way around, and then all the way around, okay? Now, you can see how that's all solid, sitting from the outside exterior wall to appear here, and then everything's supported with this around that, so that I can screw in the new toilet flange, and the wax ring can go in there all nice and neat. And this is all gonna be the right height. What do I mean by that? Well, let me show you that right now. This board actually goes right here. Okay, so you can see. Let me start setting some of these boards in, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Now you can see what this is. I've got that board spaced, and it's smooth, okay? This is all smooth. That way when I lay my new floor, I can lay it right over this and nobody will ever see anything. Okay, I also have to push these one by one as I'm screwing them into the outside frame. Okay, I'll be screwing it into the outside frame all the way around. This gap right here, I'll be putting spray foam in. That's okay, it catches this side of the old floor. That's what that board's for. This one, it's caught on that board underneath it, okay? And since they're 2x4s, there ain't no way in heck this is gonna go anywhere. So I'm gonna spray foam this gap. I'm gonna spray foam any of the gaps around there. And I'm also gonna spray foam around here. And then I'm gonna use my multi-tool to cut around it and flatten it out before I put the new toilet ring on. So all I've done now is I've taken a glove, I've removed the ball off of that pipe, and this is lead. Okay, this is lead around the cast iron to shape it around the cast iron to your floor. I guess that's how they used to do things back in the day. Well, whatever. So this is the flange that I'll be using. This is a 4-inch pipe. So I'm gonna use the one that slides inside to keep everything going through at a 3-inch. A little bit small, well, not a 3-inch, this is a 4-inch, but since it has that reducer and it fits inside the pipe, you're losing just a slight bit of spot, but there's plenty to lose on a 4-inch, okay? And anything that goes through this toilet will be smaller than what's inside that pipe all the way through the system. You can see there's a rubber piece right here. I've beat the heck out of this to the point where I'm dripping sweat all over the ground, okay? I've beat the heck out of that lead to strip it out around big enough to fit this in here, okay? Now this is big enough to fit in here, and it's gonna, when I tighten this down, it's gonna seal itself with that right there inside the pipe, okay? So we're sealing it inside with that rubber piece inside the cast iron. It has the lead beat around to help drain it in there, and this goes clear through there, and if water backs up, that seals it, okay? Now, once I twist this let me start this right now. You spin it like this, okay? It spins right into place, just like this. It's pretty hard, actually. Okay, I'm actually gonna do that in a minute. Okay, but you're gonna righty-tighty that on and it seals itself right there. And then you put screws around right here in these 4 locations around like that into your subfloor, okay? And I'll see you guys back here after I get that done. So here's what I have now. I have all the screws in for all the subfloor around, okay? All the screws are in, all the wood's in place, the blocks are set, everything's done, okay? Everything is level, and then we've screwed this on where it's flat right here, okay? We're flat all the way around, and then you can see how I've placed this flange, okay? The flange is in the ground, and I've pre-drilled a hole a couple of places so I could get it in the actual frame that I built, but otherwise you can use their actual holes and whatnot. So anyway, screw it in like this, okay? And you have to have it where you slide the bolt in, the bolt slides in right here, okay? And this bolt slides in right here, and they have to be across this way, side to side like this, so that you can set the toilet. Now these can move and adjust a little bit if you need them to, unless you can't, like if you place it in the wrong spot. But anyway, this is how this all looks, and you can see this PVC is now sealing around on the cast iron. It is now flanged and flowing inwards into that. It now has toilet bolts and everything is smooth around the edge. Now I'm gonna go in and spray foam anything like this right here, this edge right here, and around this, and or you can use caulking or silicone or whatever and kind of get this ready because before I lay my floor down, okay? And I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Here's what I have now. You can see I have half a roll left. I'm putting all the debris inside the shower. Put something over the drain before you do this so everything doesn't go down the drain. I've got this tool right here, okay? And this hammer, and I'm using that right there to cut these laminate pieces, okay? I've put laminate all the way from the door, which at the door there's carpet and it's raining today. So this is what I have set up so I can get through and around my house. See, so you're not getting rainwater everywhere, and you can get through and around into the areas like this, okay? And I also have to put Chad inside his little kennel today, but we're in and out of the house, so he gets to ride around with me in the car. But anyway, so here is what I have going on over here. I have put the flooring down from the carpet's edge. I'll have to put a transition board right here. You're gonna get it close around the edge so I can put some corner around in here. So I'm just gonna leave the trim as is, flooring over to it with this pad down here, doing 2 layers, not just 1, but 2, because of some of the inconveniences here with the asbestos and stuff. So 2 layers of this rollout stuff. And here it is. I've cut the spray foam. You can see there's some spray foam here I've cut. Here is some spray foam I've cut. I filled in back there and I cut it. Everything is smooth. Everything is ready to start skim coating the walls with sheetrock mud. I have the drain set and I cut all the spray foam around that so you can see how that is in there and where that's going. These screws are set in place and ready to set my toilet down. Okay, and all I have to do now is get the flooring over to here, and then I'll finish the pad right here, and I'll show you at that point what this all looks like. I'm going to show you guys what I am doing now. I am actually setting the toilet. So when I have videos on how to do this, but inside the toilet box comes this little piece right here, and all you do is attach it right here. The toilet comes in several parts. It comes with this part and these parts right here on the tank, which I'm going to leave all this here for right now, and the seat and the bolts for the seat and the tank lid and all that. I'm just gonna leave that right there for now, okay? I've finished the floor, I've finished the trim, okay? Now the trim is done, but it's not painted and it's not nailed in. So it's loosely fitted, okay? I still have to do some caulking right here because there's a transition from this, which I'm gonna keep. And I'm gonna put caulking right here, caulking right here, okay? And anywhere that I need caulking on that trim. Okay, I have the water lines here. I have this cabinet, which I'm gonna preserve. I put spray foam in the back, and I know it looks bad right now, but I'm gonna shave it off, and then I'm gonna vacuum, and I'm gonna put the rest of the flooring that I have over it just like so. So it'll be clean and nice and neat and clean, and it'll actually be sealed so bugs can't get in. I'm gonna work on this back section, continue working on that, and then you can see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean it and then floor right over it, because this portion it's good. It just needs to be vacuumed, okay? So, and then I'm gonna put that flooring over that. So that's what I'm doing in there. I'm gonna bring the trim out to here and fix all these places. After I put the nails in, I'm gonna spray foam in there and then clean all that up. basically. And I'm gonna put spray foam in over here on this portion as well, and then I'll cut that off just like we did on the flooring here. Okay, here's the flooring around that, and you can see the pad comes up and I've cut around it. I've sealed all the gaps and cracks and screwed it into the actual floor joist. Okay, we have the wax ring with the extended version, that black loop that goes into our new flange, and I have the back trim right there. I've filled this in with spray foam, and I'm gonna be clear glossing, or no, I'm gonna be skim coating this whenever I skim coat this whole bathroom, whenever I skim coat all the problems in this bathroom. I'm gonna skim coat all that and show you guys here shortly what all this looks like skim coated. You can see what the walls look like currently, right now. I'm giving you guys the full bathroom remodel, okay? So this is actually a wood wall with lead-based paint, okay? Lead-based paint over here on this wall as well. We're gonna, it's already been painted, so I'm gonna gloss over it with skim coating. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and, since I finished the flooring project and the drain, I'm gonna go ahead and, because this stinks, I'm gonna set the toilet. So this is all I'm doing. This is the third or the fourth piece of the toilet. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. And then this is the fourth piece, and all I'm gonna do is, I was talking to you guys about these bolts right here. Okay, well these bolts they're in place, they're on the sides, okay, right where we want them, right here, and right here on the sides. Okay, now I'm gonna take this toilet and I'm gonna grab one hand right here, and I'm gonna grab the other hand right here, and I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna set it right over where those bolts stick through right here, and the other bolt sticks through right here. That's these two bolts right here, so we're clear. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift this toilet up and set it on that wax ring with those bolts coming up. And then what we'll do after we do that is I'll take these pieces right here. This is a cap right here. This is a cap, but I'm gonna be taking some of these pieces and these nuts right here and screwing it down with those caps over it. And then the other parts in there for this toilet lid seat, okay, those other bolts, okay, which would be the longer bolts, okay, with all the parts we need are right here. So there's 2 for the toilet, 2 for the toilet seat, and the caps for those screws, tank, lid. I have videos on all this. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and I'll see you guys back here, and I'll hook the supply line up to here. And that supply line actually came from Plumbing Cell, and I'll link the video for the supply line in right here. And all you do is take this supply line and righty-tighty on right here, okay? And I'll show you guys what that looks like. And the other side will connect to the toilet right under here once we get the tank set onto the toilet. So the other side of that water supply line, toilet supply line, will connect right here, righty-tighty onto that, okay? And these will go through the holes with those nuts, nuts, okay? Right here, toilet seat, right here, tank. Very simple. Go check out my other videos. See you guys here after a little bit. So here you can see I have the toilet seat set aside. And there it is with the toilet bolts and the toilet nuts. I have set the toilet in place. I have walked it over just like this and set it right down right there and right there. My screws come through, but I'm gonna show you what this looks like. There it is where the bolt sticks up, and you put that on there, and then you put the cap over it and listen to it snap in place. It snapped in place. I've snapped this one in place. The toilet's in place. The supply line will connect here, and it will go right there. So the placement of this is correct. All my trim is done behind there. We'll get to that later. Let's get the toilet going to get that smell fixed. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this in place. So we need to put the toilet seat through there. So here it is right here. I'm gonna pop that open. We're gonna pop this side open. This side. Now that we have those two sides are popped open, I'm gonna set the toilet seat right on there. Line up the holes just like so. We'll take one bolt and pop it in here. We'll take the other bolt and pop it in right here. Okay, now that those are in place, you can see righty-tighty with a flat head. But underneath, we'll have to find underneath here, and you can see the bolt sticking down right here, okay? Right there, and we'll put this nut on there, okay? I'll see you guys back here when I get this tank going. You can see now I have the toilet. These things are tightened down, and you can see you snap those lids down after you do that righty-tighty on there and hold that bottom righty-tighty, and then snap that down. There's your toilet seat lid, okay? But we still don't have the water on. Oh, but look, the tank's on there now. Okay, so all we have to do on the tank is you'll see the bolt comes through here from the tank, and I've removed that metal washer, and that little plastic piece screws on from right here, and that holds your tank down, okay, on both sides. Now you'll also notice that we have this black right here. That's where our water line will connect, and that's ready to connect to, and that's ready to connect to, and that is actually powered up with water because we replaced the water lines. So as soon as I connect the supply line from plumbing cell onto here and onto that black, we'll turn this on and we'll have power. So let me show you that supply line, what that looks like, okay? See you back here in a second. I have nailed all the trim, not only in the bathroom in here, but I have screwed this in right here, and I have screwed this one in right here. The other one was a little bit more rough than this one, but that's okay. It still looks great. I put this trim board in over here, and if you guys have been following along where that pipe runs in, I have built this right here, uncaulked, unfinished, unpainted. Obviously this will be white and that'll be caulked. I'll have a back plate in right here so you won't be able to see any of this, and then there'll be a trash can sitting right here. Okay, still working on all this, but that is all done right there. Okay, the woodwork. Back to the bathroom. Here is the toilet supply line. Okay, you can see right away one end is bigger than the other end. Okay, so that end is smaller. I'll set this down in a second, but here's all the trim uncaulked, but it is nailed now. Okay, the only thing missing is this side over here where I'm going to do corner round. I'm actually going to do corner round because it'll go underneath this and it'll go underneath that door. So the only way to get this all trimmed is to put corner round. So I'm going to do corner round on this side, but the rest is that wood. You can see I've trimmed it all out like this. I've squared everything up. So everywhere where it looks bad is places where I need to actually fill those areas in. Okay, I've squared up this cabinet right here, which you can see the cabinet's actually built at an angle. So I just went ahead and straightened it up, and I'll fill that back portion in whenever I'm skim coating this. And these doors, which have obviously taken quite a bit of wear and tear. So I'm gonna skim coat those doors and make them look nice and put little knobs on there. Okay, so you can see how I've done that. And I'm gonna go ahead, here the toilet is, I put the top on, and for the first time with me, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to hook up this supply line. This supply line is from Plumbing Cell. Plumbing Cell supplied all my pipes and fittings and everything, and they have given me this right here, which is also a toilet supply. You can see right there, this is the big end. It has a washer inside it. That connects to this black portion right there, okay? All we're gonna do is go hand tight on there, okay? We're gonna go hand tight on there, just like this, okay? You don't want to cross thread it. So right there, we're going hand tight. My apologies, I actually videoed the whole thing and saw that whenever I was trying to video this, I shut off the water. But anyway, you're gonna righty-tighty right here, hand tight, has the rubber washer end on that. The other end is gonna go righty-tighty. You're gonna be going righty-tighty right here. Righty-tighty, hand tight, very hand tight as you can go. And then I turned on the water for the first time. The water pressures up the toilet, it fills up the tank, you'll hear it filling up the tank, you'll see the water rising in the toilet, everything looks good. It has never been flushed. This will be its first flush ever, but before you flush it, while it has water in the bowl and everything, and the water is pressured up and it has filled up the tank, it's shut off, you don't hear it making any noises or anything now, you're gonna be checking around right here. Before you silicone it or anything down here, you're checking for water to be seeping out the sides. If there is a water leak, you'll see it seeping out the sides. So looking for that all the way around before we flush. Okay, everything looks good. The toilet's in its perfect position. Let's give it its first flush. It sounds wonderful, it flushes wonderful. It's filling up again, you can hear it. We'll flush it one more time. We'll check the seals again at the bottom. And then I'll go to spray foaming. I've already put the nails in all the trim. I'll go to spray foaming and skim coating these walls. And since I've already got videos on all of that, I just want to show you guys some of this while the tank is filling up. See how dramatic all this is. It's gonna need to be skim coated, so I'm gonna spend all night doing this. And I mean that. I'm gonna list this property on the market tomorrow morning. Okay? So I have a lot of work to do this evening. It's 5 o'clock right now. Still got a lot of time left. I'm gonna skim coat it. You can hear the toilet is shut off behind me. I'm gonna skim coat all this lead and this whole bathroom all the way around and change the doorknob, spray foam, caulking, and all the areas around throughout the house. And you know, we've seen it all before. So let's flush this toilet one more time. There it is. Plumbing Cell has that supply line that did the final connections for my toilet and my new plumbing. So there you go. Thanks to Plumbing Cell, I have water flushing for the first time. And this episode is going to be pretty much concluding after the final results here shortly. When you guys see me back here in a minute, I'm going to do all the little things in here and paint and all that stuff. Clean out the sink, get all my stuff out of here, take back the stuff to Lowe's that I can take back, and get rid of all this asbestos. Give everything a wipe down, give everything a dusting off the walls and everything. And after everything is super clean, I'll mop one last time and paint this right here. So you'll see all this. Wonderful.